Hello, ladies and Jelkamen.
What's up, Jelks?
What's up, Jelks? I am one of your hosts, the Wonder Dude, Kirkland Patzer. And who am I joined by?
I'm the Adam Hercaster, Dylan Muss. I was trying to come up with something on the fly, but that was the best I could do. It was the old,
I went to it right away. I'm a little unhinged because it's been a while since I've done a weekly geek. I feel like we've just been so busy with reviews. Plethora of reviews. I don't even remember the last weekly geek I was on, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, today it's a weekly geek featuring the Whalers, myself and Dylan, and yeah, we got some juicy Marvel filled episodes, just content to talk about, and
overflowing.
Yeah, we're gonna couple that with we're gonna couple that. I guess that word makes sense. We're gonna pair that with a bunch of trailers that came out also, and of course, the classic Patreon questions that we'll be getting to. But before we get at that, just a few things to shout out before that. The big juicy movie review on the feeds right now is for Tron Ares. We did that last Friday, and that was a fun episode. You'll have to go check that out, hear our thoughts on that, as well as the boys are doing. Hey, that was like a pun. Unintended but intended in hindsight. The boys are reviewing for Gen V, which is the boys spin-off show. And those boys, of course, are Travis and Taylor. So yeah, I think that comes out on Wednesday. So definitely check that out if you are watching that show or if you just want to hear their thoughts on it. I'm sure they do a spoiler-free section as we always do when it comes to reviews. You and I just did a fabulous side quest episode. That was lots of fun.
Great episode. Yeah, top notch.
Great episode. What else review-wise? We just finished Peacemaker. I feel like there's another show that I'm forgetting. Alien Earth, but that was a little while ago. Yeah, okay. Well, we're just in between various things right now. So yeah, go check out the feeds for all that stuff. We got the review feed as well as the main feed where we got all the contents just going on there. And I was going to talk about Patreon. Maybe I'll bring that up a little bit later. But one thing I will mention right now is the Extra Life charity stream, which is going to be coming up. I think we're less than a month away now.
Wow, we are. That's
man, time is moving so fast. November 8th is the date for that. So go check that out. I think we have a start time of 10 for some reason.
I think so. 10 a.m.
Yes.
PST, Pacific
there you
Standard.
Go. Pacific Standard, because that's the standard time that we use. But yeah, tons and tons of stuff planned and unplanned on that. We're going to be going for 24 hours. All the proceeds go to BC Children's Hospital. Any donation is welcome. It's all tax deductible, as well as just sharing the links, even just checking in and just saying hi to us. We appreciate that. So definitely go check that out. We're going to be pumping that out pretty much every episode leading up to it so that you guys don't miss out on that. And I think that's a healthy things to shout out, unless I'm forgetting something.
I think that's pretty ample.
All right, here we are, Weekly Geek. New York Comic-Con was going on, which I kind of knew about, but like I don't know, I just don't really get like super buzzed and excited for stuff like that for whatever reason. I think just not necessarily Comic-Con, but just various shows that like build up hype, like, oh, what's going to be announced here, and then it's just like a dud, whether that's for video games or DC, Marvel, Disney, like whatever it is. I just feel like the last handful that I've gotten excited for have been a little let down. So kind of just completely forgot about this until Travis was sending us the notes on some of these topics, and I was kind of getting excited. Some juicy things in there. We got our main topic, but like, where are you at with Comic-Con and just the buzz?
The buzz was low for sure because this stuff dropped, I guess, intermittently throughout the weekend. And I feel like my barometer is the Discord because that's my main social media. And I just feel like the chatter was extremely low. I feel like I didn't really see some people talking about any of these things. Certain trailers for MCU things that just like no one was really chatting about, and a couple things popped out and I saw. But yeah, I was kind of surprised when I was seeing the notes today. I'm like, oh, I missed all this stuff too, because if the Discord ain't talking about it, I ain't talking about it or hearing about it. So definitely some decent sauce. I mean, nothing that was kind of like the big S tier, big drop scoops. I mean, one of our things is kind of in that tier, but I don't think it necessarily came from Comic-Con. But yeah, overall, just a bunch of like mid-tier things, some good updates and whatnot. But it feels like a bit of that, like the calm bubbling as we're getting like closer and closer to Avengers, where it's just like, okay, we got to plug through some things, but like the big super duper exciting things are kind of past now, and now we're just kind of looking forward to Avengers. So I feel like we're just gonna get the lower budget, the lower crop of things until we finally get those two big juicy movies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Without further ado, I'm gonna lead us into our main talking point for the Marvel Comic-Con stuff, which is a rumor, which I forgot to prod Travis because he does a great job listing out all these notes, and if it's a rumor, he does like the letter grade scooper, but he never gives me like a source for these things. I don't know if he's just keeping this like close to
he
the
did
chest.
Give a tier for what
he gave us a tier, but as well. But I feel like yeah, he's trustworthy, but like still like
maybe he's the one who's leaking it, and he's saying that he has the value of a B tier scooper.
I want to see that. I want to see Travis now in brackets, and then I can.
I feel like
be
he's
got
to be in the DMs of certain people. He's probably I think he does get a couple things here or there. So he
probably has an
climbing
alias. We all know he has fake accounts when he's trolling Taylor. In various aspects of his day to day.
We've seen that.
I'm sure he's got an anonymous tipper dropping. I wonder what letter grade he gives himself. I feel like it's no more than a C. Just it's nothing wrong with that. It's just like he's got some.
I'll give him a B minus.
B minus,
because then he can heckle you and when you give him a worse score than I gave him. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear his thoughts on that. But yeah, no, he gave us a scoop right here, juicy rumor, which is in the B tier sphere.
B tier sphere.
Take that how you will. Hugh Jackman to stay as Wolverine in the MCU after Secret Wars. So of course that would be the second of the Avengers projects coming up, and I'm gonna throw it to you actually before I talk about that. I threw us both off there.
Yeah, you fucking threw a card like Gambit at me. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. To me, this is B tier, which is a pretty high grade when it all is all said and done. But I don't know about this.
No source given to us.
Yeah, it's a sourceless B, which is always risky. I mean, here's the thing, right? Right now, especially in a point in time when Marvel and Disney are having a lot of misses come out, and it's like Thunderbolt's a great movie, but just didn't make money. Captain America didn't make money and wasn't really that beloved. But then there are other hits. The Deadpool Wolverine comes out, $1 billion movie, huge deal, right? So I feel like it feels like they're in a point right now where they're just kind of continuing to greenlight and push projects that seem like the guaranteed moneymakers. Maybe especially in this current era that we're in, we're just getting through the last couple of these Disney Plus shows that they're seemingly just like kind of dropping out in the middle of nowhere and don't really care much about. And so it makes sense. Okay, Deadpool Wolverine, $1 billion movie. Let's get Hugh Jackman back because that clearly was a box office thing, even if that wasn't the plan beforehand. I still don't see him being the future of the X-Men, like when we ever get that full team, when we get the reboot, the new castings. Like I don't see them sticking him in there. But like, do you think we'd get like a Deadpool Wolverine 2? Like, is that a route they would go with those characters, or was the plan to kind of like integrate or like get them built into the MCU, and then like Deadpool can go mix around with other characters? Because it feels like they did leave enough strings that we could pull on for a sequel in terms of their friendship in particular. No,
absolutely. I think it's set up for that reason, that it's not like too constrained to go down a certain avenue where like it's a little bit open. Like there's enough breadcrumbs where it's not like the only way that we get Logan back is because of Deadpool.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see it going the route where like they try that, and maybe if like numbers wise aren't where they want it to be, then it's like, hey, then we should bring back Deadpool. Like maybe it's just let's see how this goes, and then we have a backup if we want, because we know how great those two can be on screen together. But that's not necessarily guaranteeing success for a sequel of Deadpool Wolverine. So yeah, I like, and also like what you're saying, like just for like the pillars of what they are wanting like to be going forward, like I don't really think that just having Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is like what makes the most sense for what they want to grow like with the brand and like evolve. And like Young Avengers are dead. We probably would never see Young Avengers, but like just new faces on the Avengers roster. Like I just feel like Hugh Jackman, God bless his soul, he's fantastic. I absolutely love that man. I want to see him have this character for a very, very long time. But I don't see him as like the future of the MCU, like the new replacement for a Downey or Chris Evans or anything like that. So I'm iffy on this rumor overall. I think it could, like, it makes sense for it to happen. I think if you would have asked me for like a letter grade like a while ago, like maybe in the Logan era, it's like now there's absolutely no way. But I probably would have said the same thing about Deadpool Wolverine, and then we got that, and then that also changes my mind a lot. I'm just Hugh Jackman's just willingness to even like don that mantle again, like get back and get his claws going. So yeah, like believability, it's definitely more in the believable direction now, but it's weird to even say like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Like that's not necessarily where I want to just put the focus on in the MCU going forward, even though I'm sure he's going to be great. Like even if the script is lesser for the character or the story that they're doing with him, I'm sure he's just going to elevate the material because he's just so fantastic in that role. So yeah, and then part of me also is like was somewhat excited or curious on like what the next version of Wolverine would be, like a younger actor or that avenue. And doesn't mean that we couldn't get that with Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Like we're already in the multiverse and just the variants are up the yin yang. We've already seen variable variants of Wolverine in Deadpool Wolverine. But yeah, it's just another thing that is kind of clouding my thoughts around this subject, which I don't know. I think if you would have asked me that a while ago, it would have been like, fuck, Hugh Jackman Wolverine going forward. And the next, like, that's just, I couldn't have seen that being a problem. But I think also just because the MCU has been messy through like the last few phases, it's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it, like, I don't know, then after, let's say just post Secret Wars, do we get Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine for something first, or do we get the next X-Men team first? Like, what is the next thing? Like, is he in some way setting that up, or I don't know, in some way being like the bridge to it?
It feels like the X-Men and like the new X-Men in the MCU. It's just been this thing that's like so far away for a long time now. Like I think in Miss Marvel, it felt like very close because they used the name mutant for like the first time, or it was like a mutation. I can't remember if they said specifically a mutant, but just the buzz was around that show. That was probably one of the better parts of that show, other than Amon. She's fantastic. I like if we need like a Logan project or like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine project just to get to the X-Men, like that also just feels that much further away. So I don't think we necessarily need that, and I don't really want, like, I just want to get to the X-Men. I'm kind of getting itchy and giddy and just want to see this roster. We've been speculating like what it could potentially look like, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to delay that. So I think that's my answer there. Just gimme. That's instant gratification generation. That's what I want.
For sure. I mean, I guess the other thing too is like with Deadpool Wolverine, obviously there's other characters in the story, and Laura, like X-23 is the one who's kind of with him at the end still, right? So maybe we get another Deadpool Wolverine and her. I don't think you'd call it like Deadpool Wolverine and X-23 because that just seems like a mouthful. But I could see that being like maybe the bridge, stepping stone, where he's not on the team permanently, or he's not even really around in that X-Men era, other than like maybe the odd appearance here or there just for like a big cameo, or put him on the poster for the box office success of it. But like maybe that's like the bridge to get her on like the main team or something like that.
Yeah.
So we still have like that character, and we can still bring him in every once in a while, and then he can still appear in like the Avengers crossover things or whatever Deadpool does, because we still don't really know like where Deadpool's going to be. Like, where is he going to be placed? I don't think he's going to be a main X-Men roster character either, but he's still going to exist and be in this world. I don't know if we're just going to continue to get solo Deadpool movies or like him teaming up with different people, but maybe that's the route, is like have some sort of transitionary movie to put her on the team, and he's still kind of in the cosmos kicking around some there, and we can bring him up every once in a while. But I think that might be the limit of it. And that's enough. Like that
Yeah.
will make them money. It'll, satisfy the fans potentially. And maybe that's like a good way to do it because people like X-23. And I feel like if you recast anyone as like Logan Wolverine right now, that's still going to be hard, especially like when you do Deadpool Wolverine, you kind of reset that timer of like when people are going to be ready for that recast. But if they keep resetting that timer, people are never going to be ready for it. And you're like, well, I just saw Hugh Jackman and I don't like this. Dylan O'Brien's playing Wolverine. No, that doesn't compare. He's good, but he's not that good. So
Yeah,
maybe that's the route.
Having him do scenes across from like Laura wouldn't be hitting the same as having Hugh Jackman.
That would be weird. I guess that's a thing they have to be careful
of. Yeah, I mean, also like what you're talking about there of him just like maybe just bouncing in and around like our X-Men roster. That makes me think of the like Future Past roster and like how Hugh Jackman's Logan was like kind of utilized there. In the stories, there's a reason why he's not really there, but just the fact that he like pops up around this new roster, it just makes me think of that. But I mean, it's a very different type of Wolverine though than like what it was in those movies. So it could very well be just his role. It makes more sense for him to be in the universe, which I would prefer. Just the potential of him having scenes with other people, and even just for Hugh Jackman, like if it is a more minor bouncing in and out, like I'm sure he would prefer to do that as opposed to just leading these projects. Like that's a lot for this guy to do. He's dedicated to the roles. He gets fucking shredded and jacked for them. Might be just a big thing to keep up. At his elder age. I'm not gonna call him a senior, but he's getting up there. He's an elder.
He's got a couple wrinkles.
He's got a few. They're it's like grizzled male charm though. He's just there's something about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask you something. Oh, do you think we're gonna get like a new iteration of the Wolverine suit?
I feel like they freaking nailed it in Deadpool Wolverine.
Or is he just gonna have like the classic leather jacket? He's like a bike rider, so he's got like a wife beater and a, a leather jacket. It's kind of like the Fox era.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of like got it out of their system in Deadpool Wolverine, having like that little flashback sequence where we got to see all the bunch of different Wolverines with different art styles. And so I feel like this is going to be our look, and I think they're going to stick with it. And I think it fits with the MCU look in general and the kind of suits that a lot of these characters have. Some of them don't go as comic booky, like a Baron Zemo, of course, but then a lot of them do. Like even Captain America. It's not quite as bright and vibrant and blinding the eyes as he can be in the comics, but it still like is that very comic booky look to it. So totally. It fits, even though we're like, I don't know, semi-realistic but semi-cartoony in the MCU. So I think it's a good look, and they should just keep it.
Yeah.
Maybe make a couple little adjustments, a little couple of bells and whistles.
Yeah, I like growing with the suit or like evolving with it, not like completely redesigning it, but it's like, okay, it makes sense. He wore this for this, and then next project maybe it's just, I don't know, he's had to like patch it up or something. Like it just looks grown. I don't know. It just adds a little lived in look for me, which I'd prefer, as opposed to just like a set prop. It's like, oh, it looks exactly perfectly the same, but that's also a superhero thing, so I don't really know why I have a critique with that, but I do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. I don't really have anything else on specifically Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, we can
B tier.
B tier. We can mosey on.
We're going to mosey on into our first ad break. And before we get to that, I got to tell you about our Patreon, which is the single greatest place to support us. You get everything early, ad-free, and exclusive at the tier. I always screw that up. As the phase 2 tier and higher, that's the $5 tier. You get all of our content early, ad-free, exclusive. And then at the highest tier, we have our great Patreon producers, which are Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randell, Cocktail Clay, John with no H, Sam Green. Thank you, each and every one of you, so much for keeping the lights on, providing so much support throughout all the years. If you want to join the Patreon producers, you can join them, and you'll be able to pitch a movie, or we've never gotten anything other than movie. I think that's kind of the rules, so I'm just going to keep it there.
We got one game. Batman Arkham Asylum way back.
Oh, okay. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. You and Travis did that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fun. I kind of forgot about that. So there you go.
But we never got a TV show, I don't think.
That would be a big ask.
That's a big ask. You'd have to,
That'd be a big
you'd have to
ask,
pick the
but-
right one.
Yeah. If you wanna ask us to do that, join
Maybe a
the Patreon
mini
producers.
series.
Yeah. Like
Never had a
Chernobyl or
documentary?
something. Yeah, actually that would fit. We could do a documentary, but whatever it
Okay.
would be. Join the Patreon
Yeah.
producers. Yeah.
Powers in your hands.
We'll be right back. All right, we are back. We're going back to New York Comic Con, where we got some juicy things in here. And one of the juicy things in here is a trailer for Wonder Man, which I believe has been delayed from the initial date. Now it's January 27th.
A couple weeks back.
6 or 8 episodes. I can't remember the total on there. Whatever it is, first episode's dropping January 27th. What was your interest in this before the trailer? And how do you feel now that you've seen the trailer?
Yeah,
If
it
you've
was
seen
a
the
big,
trailer.
I have, of course. Yeah, it was a big question mark before the trailer because I've moseyed around Wikipedia and Marvel Wiki and all that, and just see what's going on with this character, see what his powers are, see what the premise is, all that kind of stuff. But not a character I'm familiar with from really any media in particular. Didn't really know what to expect, and I feel like we haven't heard much about it. But the cast, good. Main man there is obviously a great pick as well. And yeah, I quite enjoyed this trailer. I mean, it doesn't feel like an MCU thing, which I think is like, I wonder how much there is going to be like a fourth walliness to it, because like even in this trailer, they're like, there's great directors coming back to do a new take on a superhero because people are sick of superheroes. And like in this trailer, you never see him get powers. You never get like that moment where he gets infected by some magical actor bug, and then he gains all these like electrical powers and all that. So it feels like it's trying to go for something different. But it is still an MCU thing. It's still a Marvel thing. He still is a superhero, I think, or something. So maybe we're going to get there, and maybe they're just holding off on the, this is the first trailer, so maybe we'll get that stuff later down the road. But I thought this would seem like a very, planting the flag of like, okay, this is going to be something a bit different. It's maybe a bit of a commentary, like a self-commentary, fourth wall comment on where we're at with superhero movies, where we're at in the MCU, potentially, which could be interesting. And we'll just kind of have to see where it goes from there. But I also I like the acting here. We have Ben Kingsley coming back as Trevor Slattery, I think is the name of his character, which is like such a weird trifecta of like Iron Man into Shang-Chi into like Wonder Man. It's just a weird journey for this guy. But sure, why not? It seems fun. And yeah, I like the premise here. The music was really good as well. So I'm consider me officially intrigued. And yeah, that question mark turned into, I guess, a thumbs up is where I'm at right now.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a good morphine of the question mark. My question mark also morphed into a thumbs up. I really love this trailer. I think you nailed it with the observation that like it just didn't feel like a Marvel like show of late, at least in the trend of trailers. Like WandaVision, when I first saw that, it didn't really look like any other show that they had done. It's because it wasn't really like any other show that they've done and haven't done since. But no, I think I just loved the light vibe of it all. Like it just seems like a really fun show. I think the humor was really good. Yaya looks phenomenal in this, especially coming
Gorgeous
from
human.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. He looks just so different than like he's fantastic in his role of Black Manta. But like, come on, there's like not a lot of substance that the character can really do. he's pretty bland. Do we still have it? Oh yeah, we do. We got this great image that never gets brought up anymore, but it's the scene from that movie. Yeah. Why am I blanking on this movie name?
Aquaman?
Aquaman. There you go.
I thought you already said it. That's why I was confused. But maybe you didn't. Maybe you
I was
just
like
said his
trying to do like the
character.
subtitle.
Sorry, I left you hanging a little bit
Yeah.
there. I left
No,
you
that's
swimming
fair.
in the open water.
I was drowning. But Yaya is not going to be drowning because in this show, it looks like he's completely on land, and he's just a lot more like on the humor side, and he just looks like he is an actor, but it just seems like he's using so much more range of everything in this performance of just what was shown in this trailer. So I'm excited to see him in that role. Also, just like the color palette of this trailer, it was like really bright. I was just vibing with it. Bunch of people were wearing just various outfits, and I just visually it looked good. Comes out the day before my birthday, so it's just like, man, this is all just excitement around this show for me. And I really didn't know like much about the character of Wonder Man, let alone what the show would be. So I really like just just what we're getting. Like I was gonna say like the play, but that's, I don't know. I guess that is what it is. Just the gist of what the show is going to be. So yeah, and I am happy to get Ben Kingsley back. I actually liked the joke with him in Shang-Chi, and I like that we're kind of carrying this character over, but hopefully it's not going to be too overdone. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Wonder Man. Like I said, January 27th. Another great Marvel show. Well, I don't know if Wonder Man's gonna be great, but I know this show's great. Yeah. X-Men 97. Ever heard of it? I think so. We went through our fantastic X-Men animated series retrospective in anticipation for X-Men 97, which we reviewed. It's on the feed. Go check it out. I love that show. Dylan, I think, really loved that show. I think most of the lads all loved it. And excitement here. Season 2 premieres summer 2026. Not only that, Season 3 is renewed. Put that pen to paper. As well as Season 4 and 5 are being planned. And if green-lit, the plan is a yearly release. That is just like thumbs up after thumbs up of great news there. Yeah, and then the one thing I didn't mention is for Season 2, Apocalypse will be the main focus. Big bad Apocalypse. Of course, he's recurring villain.
Season 1.
Yep. Great cliffhanger. Well, not really a cliffhanger, just a hangnail left on. Yeah, it's a gruesome image, but yeah, I'm sure you're excited by this news, especially the potential of a yearly release for a show that we all really loved.
Did you see the trailer for this one?
I actually didn't. No, I
think it's just like a cam rip on YouTube. Like,
okay.
I watched the trailer, but I don't think it was official. Maybe it was fucking AI generated. I don't even know. Like now these days, it seems legit, but
we've all fallen victim to that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm very excited for this. So the premise of this being like we got to get the X-Men back to the 90s, and we're obviously the time travel aspect makes sense with Apocalypse, and we see like a more human looking Apocalypse too. And at one point, he like takes his weird glasses off, and it's like, oh yeah, he has eyes under there. It's like, I guess that makes sense, but not something that I feel like we really dug into in the original series. Back when Apocalypse was always kicking around, he was always just that same Apocalypse. So I guess I'm surprised a little bit, just because if we already got Season 3 renewed, plans for 4 and 5, this just feels like something you do Season 3 or 4 or 5. Like, it seems like something you do down the road. Feels like they're going to be pulling the trigger a bit too early on this. I feel like I was kind of fine with like where we were a few years down the road, I guess. Maybe things were a little bit different. Some things but now we're going back there already. So obviously some of those Days of Future Past episodes and 2-parters, 3-parters, whatever it was in that original series are really great. And that's always a fun premise. You get to do a lot of interesting things there, different variations on characters. But yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, this seems like with the way X-Men 97 was, I don't know. Do you feel like we're going to get like a bunch of one-off episodes still, or is this mostly going to be like a full season kind of arc? Because I just feels like this seems like a big, serious thing that could be like really just pulling everything together more cohesively, which is good and all, but I still like getting a random little one-offs here or there, which, we might still get.
Yeah. We definitely still could get. I worry, though, if it's like, if the show is actually at the quality of what the first season was, which I have no reason for it to not be that way, I might just be really vibing with the Apocalypse stuff. And if we get like a side filler episode, I might be upset with that. I don't love all of the little side stories, Mojo in particular. I ended up liking the Mojo episode.
Yeah, watch your mouth when you're talking about Mojo.
Hey, it's it's potential to happen, but I think that there still would be some sprinkling of side adventures, not necessarily a whole episode, but like at least some little side plot things going on. But I just feel that because it was alluded to last season, like that will be the main focus, and majority of the season will cover that. I could see even like a specific episode like covering maybe a little bit more backstory into just the character of Apocalypse and just that like Egyptian era that we're kind of exposed. I can't remember what his original name was, but just yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting character. I don't believe that this would just be like the last appearance of Apocalypse either. Like it's just a character that will never just be gone forever. So yeah, it is early, but like he could easily just be a sleeper for a few seasons and then just randomly pops up again. It's a pretty easy villain to work with in that sense. So I don't think it's necessarily like too early for this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm also just intrigued at like the modern era of like I was shouting out the animation just as a whole in season 1. Like it just looks so crazy when they do the Goblin Queen battle and just like the explosions and everything. It just looks so incredible. So yeah, I'm just excited to see some like Apocalypse in there too. It's just gonna be some glorious action.
Yeah, and yeah, like I guess maybe by the time this is coming out, maybe it'll feel like the first season was forever ago. But to me, it still feels like okay, we're on like a good momentum track here. I guess it was like already over a year ago, but I don't know. To me, this seems like a good timing. I'm excited for this in what feels like just a few months. I guess it's like almost a year, but a few months next summer. I can't wait.
Yeah. How long is it? Just been a year, or in my mind it's been longer?
I feel like it was like April or something of like last year. So
I think you are right, because I remember talking to someone
something like that
at work about it, but it was like before I left like my second last job.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't there that long. Weird. Time is a weird thing.
True.
Yeah, I mean that's all I had there really for X-Men. Can't wait for that. It's exciting.
Prediction right now: season 4 or 5. Are those getting renewed, or are we just getting a 3-season run?
Just like 4 and 5, like as a whole, like we're definitely gonna get. Yeah. I'm gonna say. I wish I had more like confidence in my yes. I'm gonna say like 65% yes. You didn't ask for a percentage. I kind of defaulted in that, but 65% of a yes is still a yes. So I'm gonna say yes. What about you?
Okay. I'll say we just get the 3. I'll go on the pessimistic side, but I want to be in your side of the field.
Yeah, I want to be more confident. I want to say like hell yeah, there's no way it's not gonna happen, but I don't know. Like maybe it's just X-Men 97 season 1, the show's finally coming back. Like there is a lot of buzz around that, and then just more seasons come out. Maybe people just kind of forget about it. I hope that isn't the case, but I don't know. I could see that happening, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to keep skedaddling down the animated realm here. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. You've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 premieres fall 2026. Hold that phone. Venom and Daredevil confirmed. Discuss.
Yeah. So you were on the weekly reviews. I was not.
Yes.
So I might be a little more foggy on it because I kind of binged through it and stuff. Daredevil, remind me what he was doing in season 1 again? Because he was in there, right?
Yeah, he was investigating what's his name? Storm and Norman, and then
Storm and Norm, okay.
And then Peter is like responding to a break-in. That's back when he's kind of on Norman's hip, like his little lapdog, and then he confronts the baddie, and it's Daredevil himself, and they have a little clash.
Right, they have
on
that
the
one
roof.
rooftop
then,
fight. Yes, okay, I remember the rooftop fight.
And then there's an end credit on, I don't know if it's the end of the show. I think it is at the end of the show, where he's running in an alley with a female cohort who's also dressed up.
I couldn't remember if that was an end credit or if he was actually hanging out with. So who do we don't know? We don't know who that is yet.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a new character or not, but I personally do not know who that is at all.
Okay.
Don't
Did it
recognize
seem like an Electro?
No.
Okay, not Electro. Cross her off the list.
Yeah.
Sadly. Okay.
I'll Google just to confirm that. Nonsense.
It took a bit of a jogging, but that rooftop fight scene was great. So yeah, now I'm remembering that they did have a tussle before. And obviously, yeah, with that setup, it seems like, okay, Daredevil's bound to come back. He was obviously in No Way Home. So, yeah, there's a lot of connection points between these characters in this kind of era of Marvel. So, excited to get that connection again. That's always a fun duo when it pops up in, like, the old TV show back in the day or that first season of Friendly Neighborhood. So, all in on Daredevil. I think with Venom, am I still burnt down on Venom from, like, Tom Hardy? Because that movie was only last year, right? Venom, the last.
Oh my gosh!
Remember that movie was called The Last Dance?
It feels like it came out 7 years ago. That's how long it's been in my mind.
But to me,
no,
it
you're
feels
right.
so fresh, actually, that I'm like,
oh yeah.
am I ready to let Venom back in my life after all these? I still haven't even seen Venom 2. Like, I just watched 1 and 3. So I don't know. And
have you forgotten about his buddy?
yeah, I just don't know if I want to remember him. You know, I might want to forget him. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Venom. I kind of botched that, but you know what I'm trying to get at. But I don't know, like, where are you at? Because I feel like you know, you played Spider-Man 2. Venom's big in there, so maybe you're hyped on Venom. Where are you at with Venom? Are you wanting more of him right now?
Before I answer that, I will ask you a question. I found out who that is.
counterattack.
I won't tell you who it is in case you want to stay away. But it's not Elektra.
Is it confirmed in the show, or is it like speculation city?
Yes, it's like plethora of articles on like talking about
Tell
who
me
this
who it
character is. Finesse is the character's name. Yeah.
That's got to be a Marvel Snap card, right?
I mean, it might be when the show comes out. If it's not
Finesse.
already, that would make sense if it ties it in there. But yeah, apparently it's a costume adventurer known as Finesse, and then just
The daughter of Taskmaster.
Oh fuck! I didn't even see that in there. That's kind of cool.
Jean Foucault.
I like that.
Okay, Finesse. Expert swordsman, master assassin, photographic reflexes? Oh, is that like Taskmaster's thing? Like photograph?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
I guess that would make sense.
Eidetic memory. Voice.
Eidetic.
What the fuck is
Probably enhanced stamina in there.
denoting mental images having unusual vividness and detail? What the fuck is that about?
It's like more than photographic.
She just has a good memory for smells and colors. Hand-to-hand combat, of course. Affiliations, girl, AIM. Okay. Avengers Academy. Okay, count me in on Finesse.
Yep.
I hope we get
You're
some more
sold?
Finesse going on in season 2.
But to answer your question, I am very biased because Venom is probably, if not my favorite, like easily top 3 favorite, just like fiction character in
So you don't get sick of him.
Yeah, absolutely not. I got him right here. He's with me on every cast. I was hurt watching through those live action Tom Hardy Venom movies. I had a great time with the first one. Like, I actually enjoyed it. Second one was arguably the worst theater experience I ever had in my life. I think I saw that movie alone. Way too loud. Woody Harrelson did not help at all with his Carnage, Cletus Cassidy performance. And then the third one was just, I couldn't believe what I was watching, but it's like, okay, this is the end. I had a fun enough time with it. I was laughing in the theater. I had a good time. However, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man does such a good job at just adding like a very unique, original flavor to a very reoccurring villain, like Scorpion,
Very
for
true.
example. I think Scorpion has the juice to to actually be like one of the best villains in just superhero content. Like just diving into like his personal stuff with J. Jonah Jameson, and like there's just some great like potential for a phenomenal script around that. And for the neighborhood Spider-Man, they wrote a very different version of the character than I would have ever imagined, but it was so good. It was so good, so scary. Just made this like B tier villain on like the power scale feel like an S tier. And man, like if you take Venom, who's like already like that level in the fandom's eyes, and I just trust this team so much with what they're able to do with them and like make it be very original. I think it would be a fresh take, honestly, on the just Venom, and like I think it would help avoid, or maybe it's the wrong wording. It would just like a fresh breath of air on something that has been so overused lately. Because yeah, like you said, it's been in Spider-Man 2, obviously the whole live action Venom stuff, and he's just been like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tobey Spider-Man. Like it's just always around Spidey titles. I mean,
do you think it's so fresh that they don't do Eddie Brock? They do a different guy.
I could see that for sure. I could definitely see it being. I could honestly be like seeing it take over like a character that, well, I was gonna say has never really been with the symbiote suit, but I feel like if you go down the comic book realm, every single character and their dog has had the symbiote suit at some point. Yeah. So, but like I don't know, like there is. I think there's at least one or two original characters in the Friendly Neighborhood show, so like that could also be a pairing there. It could be, yeah, I don't know. I could speculate all day who it could be, but I could definitely be, I could buy the fact that it wouldn't be an Eddie Brock pairing. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm honestly a lot more in the camp that it wouldn't be Eddie Brock. I think it would be something, not necessarily brand new, but just different than that.
Yeah. What if it's even just like I'm trying to think of like the female version of the name Eddie, like Edietta Brock.
Yeah. Like a gen. Okay, so the same
I'm thinking
type
of like
character.
Octo Octavius. We got like Olivia like maybe they do like something like that too. Flip it. But no, you kind of sold me on this.
Edna.
Edna, there you go. Edna mode. Yeah, you've kind of sold me on this because the point there of the Scorpion, and I mean even Norman was like a very different iteration than we've seen before. Tombstone, of course, like taking like a nobody goon type character, turning him into like a fucking amazingly super well written character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see them doing that with Eddie Brock as well. So you know what? Fucking sold. Okay, I'm converted. I'm in now.
You're back in this camp.
Memories bring back your... I won't forget you, buddy.
Okay, well now you ruined it because now
You're
I'm thinking about Eddie. Now I'm thinking about
you won't be
Last
forgetting
Dance
about
again.
Venom anytime soon.
I'll never forget you, buddy.
Exactly. I could also see them going like the Flash Thompson route, pairing with Venom. That could be fun. But like, yeah, that's also just going in a different avenue too, with like Agent Venom stuff. I don't know. I just want to see like a freak just take over the symbiote, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like a Cletus Kasady type where he's just a psycho, but just like a very different version of the character where like he is just as like quirky, like he's a good character, but he's just carrying the symbiote, and then you have like the schizophrenic conversations. I think there's just so much juice around that character. So. And I'm sure that would help numbers a lot. You know, I think we'd be getting, that's when we get into our like version of the X-Men 97 season 4, 5s.
I could see like not Nico becoming Venom, because that'd be like a fucking crazy pivot. But I feel like the darkness of her character and the magic and stuff, I could see that somehow pairing with like someone who's has the symbiote attached to them. Like I don't know, I could see that being a dynamic that could be really interesting, which would obviously lead to some drama between her already kind of rocky relationship with Peter. If she's like kind of not teaming up with Venom, but she like maybe has sympathy for the guy who like got the symbiote, if it is Eddie Brock in this case. Right. I could see something like that happening, which could be fun as well.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
God, I'm so excited for more Nico as well.
Oh man, Nico is fantastic. I want to rewatch that show now.
I do too, actually.
Maybe I'll load it up on the plane.
Load it up. No, you got to play Fire Emblem, Kirkland.
Yeah.
No Spider-Man rewatching for you. Finish your first Fire Emblem, okay?
I forgot to bring up what we've been watching. I apologize.
It's okay.
I know it's okay.
We got a lot of news.
Next time.
We can do it if you want, or we can do it. I'm fine.
It's a jarring place to just stop talking about what we're talking about. I guess we can do that if you want to. Do you have anything you really want to shout out off your?
We could do. How about after Marvel news? We do.
Okay. There you go. We'll circle back to that.
Sure.
Back to the subject at hand, which was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And then we talked a lot about Venom, Daredevil. I'm so excited to just get more Matt Murdock in there, and then go down the finesse route and explore that character. I don't really have any more else to say. I'm sure it's going to be great.
I don't know if you said the release date. You probably did, but fall 2026. So we have the summer of X-Men, and then the fall of Spidey. So nice 1-2 punch there. It's going to work out nicely.
Absolutely. Okay, and then moseying on down, we also have a quest, a vision quest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say side quest. I was like, oh, doing a
We
mystery
did a side quest,
quest?
which was fantastic. 2 quests back to back. One was the side, and this one's for the vision. White Vision, which I don't think that's the actual name.
Snow Vision. That's
Snow
the
Vision.
official
There
name.
you go. It sounded wrong when I said that. Snow Vision has all of the memories of the original Vision, but is struggling to connect with the emotions. Which, when I read that, I was like, I thought that was known already. I know we really haven't explored the character at all, but it's just like, I assume that would have been the case where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this is the robotic version of Vision, but like, I'm sure there's going to be some inner turmoil where he's trying to remember the old side of himself. It just seemed like a type of line that I was reading, but
yeah.
at least it's nothing too crazy in the wrong direction. Like,
Sounds a little bit like the plot of Tron Ares. Not to spoil that movie too much, but go check out Tron Ares.
Yeah, actually, there's definitely some Tron Ares in there. Yeah, no, good observation. And then I'll just list all of it, and then we'll talk about it
Sure.
all. And then Speed, also known as Tommy Maximov, confirmed for the show. That is Vision Quest. And then Ultron, voiced by the great, powerful James Spader, returning, which is awesome. And then apparently we're going to have Friday, Edith, Jarvis, and Dumb-E. And if you couldn't tell by the way I was saying that, it is the, what's the word for when you just have like, what is
An
it?
acronym?
Acronym, thank you. Version of that. So F.R.I, etc. So for Friday, Edith, Jarvis, and Dumb-E will appear and have human forms. Coming to Disney Plus 2026.
Sorry, I just a very side tangent. I just realized. So with X-Men 97, also Wonder Man now, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Vision Quest, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, and the Punisher special all coming out next year. That's going to be a spicy MCU Golden Geeks for that freaking year, which has been a little bit on ice for a little bit here. Where it's like, hey, we don't have as much content to discuss. If all of that still comes out next year, and I think I have those movie dates right, that is going to be fucking hype. That is going to be quite the year next year. And that's also a year of a million huge video games coming out. In 2026 might be our year, Kirkland.
That might be best year yet. Yeah.
Might be the new best year yet.
That's crazy, actually, because I've been going through listing off the dates, but until you compile them all together in one sentence, it actually puts it in the frontal lobe there. That's kind of crazy. We're gonna be stretched thin, but in all the right directions and right ways.
Thanks for that.
I'm gonna take a little ad break there just to settle down, and then we'll come back to unpack on this. All right, we've calmed down, had some water, we're back. Anywhere you want to start with all this Vision stuff? You want to start? Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, just like this show I've been extremely unhyped on, and this stuff. The one thing that I am interested in is Ultron, because I like James Spader. I like Ultron as a character. Yeah, Avengers 2, not the finest MCU craft, that's no doubt, but I think there's a lot of potential with that character. I didn't necessarily need him coming back, but it's one that you announce it, and I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Ultron, we've seen him be quite powerful, an Avengers level threat, and now he's like in a TV show as a potential. Is he going to be a villain there? Is he actually just like a guy? We'll see what's going on there. And then obviously in like What If, we got like what was the name of that? Like multiverse Ultron. He had didn't he have like a name?
Infinity Ultron?
Yeah, that's the one for sure. Where that's like, insane levels of power. So this will be interesting to go like, okay, now we're going to shrink that character down to like MCU TV show format. So we'll see what that looks like. In terms of like bringing all of these robots, we have like Tony Stark's voice. We got, Jarvis, the original one, of course. We have, I think Edith is Spidey's voice, right?
Yeah, even dead. I'm the hero.
AI. Yeah. And then Dummy, that's like the mechanical arm from Iron Man, I think, right?
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
I think that's what it is. I'm not too excited about like all these guys coming to life.
Yeah.
Like that's not something I need. When we say they have human forms, like what do you think that means exactly? Are these like they're all getting a body like Vision, I guess? Is that what we're doing? Like we're 3D printing them out?
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is because he's having like an identity crisis, like he's just gonna have moments where it's almost like WandaVision, where like it's gonna be like a fake interaction, but like internally in his head, like that's what I believe is when he's gonna actually be interacting with like James Spader as like the Ultron character, because he knows this voice, he knows who this character is,
Right,
but like he's
right.
seeing this version of it. Same thing for Edith Jarvis. Of course, Jarvis is like his own, it's Paul Bettany's voice. So like I just pictured those moments being WandaVision-y. I don't think the whole show is gonna be like just copying what WandaVision was. I hope it isn't, because that show is just really unique on its own. But just the fact that I think it's going to be psychological. I think it's going to be trippy for the character of Vision, especially if he's battling just the emotional side of the character, to just going back to the bland robot version of himself. I think that will be like a thing that he's just dealing with throughout the season, and I think that would be the thing that makes the most sense to get those human versions of those characters. Because like, how else are you going to get the dummy like arm like
Yeah.
being a human character? Like that just doesn't really. I don't know. I guess they could explain it some way, but to me, that would be the route that I picture it being. I would be kind of surprised if that's not the case. Yeah.
And then yes, so Speed, Tommy Maximoff. I mean, I'd be excited for the idea if Wanda was here and we were getting the dynamic with her as well. But she's not announced for the show yet, right? So it's like I don't know if she'll be in there.
I could see her appearing though. I could see her being like a surprise appearance. I could, yeah.
Make her long return.
Just because, like,
Vision Quest.
Especially if it's like if what I'm pitching is actually true, and like a lot of it is kind of internal for the character, like that's not really breaking any continuity stuff. If she appears there, I think it could be a big moment to, especially like those two characters are tied together so much, like the love that they have for each other, for Vision and Wanda. I could see that happening. I wouldn't pizza bet it by any means. And like some people might scoff at the idea of like Wanda's return is in Vision Quest, the show. Like, really? I don't know. I think like out of anyone that would have like the biggest tie to her, it would be Paul Bettany's Vision. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how. Now that Pietro's dead, of course, that would be the one tie. Aaron Taylor Johnson's Pietro, but I think that would be juice also. Like just mic drop, like surprise appearance. Nobody was expecting to have her in there if they're able to keep it hush hush. But I mean, would they keep it hush hush? Like if they're trying to sell people on the show, you got Elizabeth Olsen back. I think that would definitely get people intrigued to check it out. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little child dreaming of a beautiful scenario that won't ever come, but I like to be a dreamer sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was maybe 3 or 4, maybe even longer years ago now, where at one point in time we had like 15 to 20 MCU things announced, like maybe 20 that we knew were coming. And I remember we did, I think maybe it was a bread and butter where we like ranked our excitement level for each of them. I think Vision Quest was maybe around then. It would have been low. But if we're just looking at like the slate of things we currently know about that are coming, like this show is the lowest thing for me on the hype level. I think, maybe that's a little bit lucky timing wise, because like I wasn't that hyped for Eyes of Wakanda or Iron
Heart.
Goddamn. Iron Heart. That's what I was looking for.
Goddamn.
Iron God. So maybe I don't know. I don't even know if I'd be more excited for this than those. I guess they're all kind of in the bottom tier for me, excitement level wise. So I don't know. When I get a trailer, maybe the hype levels will rise up, and I see who they get. If they get an actor I like in the human forms of these robot people, then sure, maybe that could be fun. But right now,
You gotta have James Spader though, right? As Ultron, like you gotta actually have him.
You think so?
I want so.
I guess if they don't physically have the robot of Ultron, then I guess you do get him. Yeah. And if they don't, then I'll be pissed.
He's just dressed up like Robert California, and he's just
the Lizard King. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
The Lizard King. Awesome. Yeah, it's coming to Disney Plus 2026, along with I think everything else we talked about today, which is crazy. Speed, yeah, I'm excited to get a little bit more of Tommy. And I have nothing else to say on that.
Okay.
So we're going to close the Comic-Con chapter there. Are you happy with that? Any last things? No?
Pretty solid for just like not having like an Avengers, not having like a big movie thing. That's pretty good for like a little TV romp there.
Yeah, I think if it was just like the Vision stuff, it'd have been like, okay, we got a little bit more on that. But like, I mean, I'm obviously very biased, but like just the Spider-Man stuff gets me juiced, and then pairing it with a great Wonder Man trailer, and then X-Men '97. I
think that the Wonder Man trailer, that's like a really welcome surprise. So I think that if anything, that's the success, that's the win here, because like X-Men. I don't know, Spider-Man, it's pretty hard to mess that up with how good those first seasons were. But yeah, it's like, oh, now I'm excited for a new thing that I wasn't before. So a success overall.
Fantastic. All right. Well, let's talk about some trailers here. Why not? We got.
Let me ask you this: Do you want to talk about what we've been watching, or do you want to officially kick that?
I am like Ron Burgundy when it comes to like I have my teleprompter of like notes that I'm going through. So it's we say it's like, hey, once we're done this, we're gonna cover that. And then I forget about that because I'm just reading my teleprompter, and then I just keep going. So
hey, if you're in a flow, you got to flow. You got to ride the flow.
We're sub 1 hour. We got time left on the clock. Dylan Muss, what have you been watching?
Yeah, I really just have two things to shout out. So I saw the much beloved Weapons. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but I
still haven't seen it. So avoid spoilers. I'm sure you would, but still.
I will avoid spoilers. Yeah, I guess I'll just say in a very non-spoilery way that it's much different than I was expecting. The vibes of it, I feel like, not that the marketing was misleading, but I actually like that the trailers kind of set up something different than what I got in a way. So I feel like maybe I don't want to say too much more because you still haven't seen it yet, and that might have already kind of changed how you perceive this thing before you've seen it. But I really enjoyed it. It had some really fun character moments in there. I really like the structure of it, once again, without actually saying any spoilers of it. And then, like, the freakiness of it, the mystery, the thriller, that aspect of it was a thrilling time as well. So I did enjoy it. I definitely am excited to have a conversation about this one, whether it's a Golden Geeks or some other time, about just, like, what this movie's about and what it means. Because I feel like in that sense, I don't know if it really rose to the occasion. It maybe set up some things and then, in my opinion, didn't really deliver them. But I'm excited to hear some other interpretations of that. I don't know if there was a chat we had in the Discord for that, but I'd be curious to go back and see what people were saying about it. But definitely recommend it. It was super fun. I think you definitely got to watch it before the year's up. I'm sure it's on your must-watch list.
It is. Yeah. Absolutely. Who's the female lead in that again? Or who's like the school teacher? Because I remember that from the trailer.
Oh my God, I'm totally blanking. Who is it? It's
a blonde lady, right? Famous. Oh, it's
from
Julia
Gardner.
Yeah. Gardner. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she's fantastic. So I'm excited. And that's kind of all I really remember from the trailers. And I'm not going to rewatch a trailer, so I'm going to keep that.
Right on. Okay, cool. I'll leave it there on that one. But yeah, enjoyed that. And then the other one I saw is a new movie. I saw Roofman with Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst and a couple other people that make appearances in there. And man, I love this movie. It was super good. I mean, from the trailers, just that concept of it is really, really strong. It seems like a funny idea, but then it's like, oh, this is based on a true story. And like at the end of it, they do that thing where they kind of like show, here's like the scene in the movie or the picture in the movie versus like the news article or thing from real life, and like showing some of those comparisons. And yeah, like I'm sure a ton of this is Hollywood eyes, glamorized and whatnot from like what actually occurred in real life. But it's just a really interesting story, really different than what you expect from like a typical criminal on the run storyline. It was chocked full of heart, had a lot of really heartwarming moments in there. Maybe the best performance I've seen from Channing Tatum. I don't think it's like an all-timer, like, oh, this guy's got to win the Oscar or anything like that. But from a guy who I've mostly just seen do like be the stupid big guy. Like in this, he has a lot more heart. He has a lot more range. And I really enjoyed him in there. And then the funniest thing for me when I was watching this movie is Kirsten Dunst. She's like, I guess you'd call her a supporting role. She doesn't really show up for like the first half the movie or whatever it is. Her character's name in this movie is Lee. And the whole time I was like, man, I swear that was the name of her character in Civil War as well. And then like I'm not like what do they call it? They call it a Sammy scroller. They say don't be a Sammy scroller in the theater. Don't take out your phone. Don't Google things. So I was not going to be a Sammy scroller. So I waited till the end of the movie, and then I Googled it and confirmed that her name in Civil War was Lee. And I got to say, Kirsten Dunst with playing characters named Lee, fucking batting 100. She is so good in this, and obviously so good in Civil War. But man, I don't know, just this little reemergence, at least for me, seeing her in things, because I just feel like until Civil War, I hadn't seen her in anything since probably Spider-Man, and I'm sure she's been doing stuff in probably good movies and is a good actor. But yeah, I'm just really impressed by her. I think she's just such a freaking great actress. So, and that duo was a really, really fun combo as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely recommend it to I think kind of anyone. Yeah, it's one of my favorites of the year for sure, and it's a strong year. So I think that's saying something. So check out Roofman for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good shout out.
Yeah.
That's all the ones you wanna mention for now?
I think so. I've been watching Survivor. I've been watching.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I've been watching. Those are the two things I wanted to shout out though.
Yeah. Good shouts out. Good shouts out. Good shout outs. There we go. I have been watching Dexter, which Shay and I just finished the finale for season 7.
Okay.
I won't dive into too much details because I kind of want to have a further discussion with Travis about him defending season 7. And, I don't want to start that off by saying season 7's a fail. It's just there's some things in it that I have major problems with. So
Between that and calling Travis a C-tier scooper, you're really trying to start a war here before you go on holidays, eh? You're trying to just start the fire. And then
I think it's like a good 90+% of times when it's a weekly geek or any episode Travis isn't on, I feel like I just naturally start like just shit talking him for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just something that I have to get off my chest, and I can feel his presence on the
when he's unable to defend himself. That's when you got to go at him. Yeah,
exactly. That's when I feel the safest, when I can do that.
He can pop in the room at any moment. He has that power.
Oh, he does that too.
And he's
like in the shower or something.
I'm always watching you, Mazowski. Yeah, he's
okay,
like
Roz.
Yeah.
But no, it's been an interesting ride. I wanted to rewatch it, of course, because we're just in the Dexter multiverse. And I was powering through the first couple seasons. Season 5 happened, and it took me like 4 years to get through. It felt. Eventually got it through, and then season 6 zoomed by, season 7 zoomed by, and I think a big part of that is I got Shay on board. I was getting her interested enough where like she actually was like. She would leave the room. She would like ask me to pause. So that's like a big moment when it's like, I'm not watching your show, but like, don't watch episodes without me. And she even admitted she watched an episode without me because I fell asleep on the couch and she just watched a whole episode. And I was so not vibing with where we were in the show. So I didn't even rewatch that episode. I was just ready to advance. But it has been fun going through it. And yeah.
Can you remind me, what's the killer or like the main action of season 6? That one's, I feel like, a blind spot for me. What happens in
season 6 is the Doomsday Killer with Thomas Marshall, or Travis Marshall is his name, which is played by Tom Hanks' son. What's his name? Colin Hanks.
Jeez, yeah, that's a
with like the horror of Babylon.
For sure.
It's like a very biblical season. There's some stupid stuff where Dexter's like praying to God. Like it gets kind of silly. Not that religion's dumb or anything. I'm not putting that out there, but just it like so inconsistent with the character, I found. But yeah, it was a slog to get through that season. Season 7, there's some really stupid stuff that happens, but like, man, the finale is fucking juicy. So we just watched that today, and it was fun. I really, really was vibing with that. And I never got through like the first couple episodes of season 8, so it's going to be interesting going through that.
First time.
And actually finishing the show. I think I can confidently say I'm gonna get there. So that's what I've been watching, just basically daily, an episode or two a day. And in terms of movies, last week I was sick, so I was putting some things on to just kind of have like background shows. It's weird. I don't know if you're similar to this, but like if I'm sick and at home, I just want to throw on like an action something, like what like just it could be a really stupid action movie like Battleship or something like that. Like I just want some action going on because I know I'm going to be like fading in and out. And I just want to like wake up and just have some big kaijus or something slapping each other around. Like that's just, it might be nostalgic. Like maybe I just remember watching that type of stuff when I was sick as a kid. But the first one I chose.
I don't do that, but I get why you do that. I think for me it's like a comedy from between 1995 and 2007 is what I go for. In that
when you're
moment.
sick specifically?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Lord of the Rings or just like a sci-fi action something for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
And Lord of the Rings is like if I'm awake, but this was like I took my nighttime Neocitrin. I'm gonna be fading in and out of consciousness here. I threw on Now You See Me, the first one, which I remember liking in theaters, and I hated it so much from the get-go to the point that I turned it off in like 10 minutes. Like I didn't even get that far. And like this is me knowing
now
that
you
I'm
see
going to
me
be
now
falling
you
asleep.
don't is what you said to that one. Yeah.
This is going to be me like I'm going to be falling asleep in 15 minutes and I couldn't even make it 10 minutes into the show. I had to actually stop it and turn it off. I'm just man, like just the whole gimmick of they do these ridiculous card tricks and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's real. There's sleight of hand. Well, it's not. It's a fucking movie. So it like takes away all of the magic, pun intended, on that type of aspect.
Okay.
I don't know. It just takes a lot of that away from me, and just whatever it is, it was just upsetting me. So I turned it off. I'm not gonna watch Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That comes into theaters. What I did end up putting on though, and I did watch in completion through multiple sittings because I fell asleep, had to rewind. Was Edge of Tomorrow. Have you heard or seen this movie, Dylan Moss?
Heard of course. Have I seen it? Let me look at a picture of it again.
Starring, the guy that's just having fun, making movies, having a great time. Tom Cruise aside.
They were saying Bill Paxton.
No, not Bill Paxton. And Emily Blunt.
I've not seen this one. No.
Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. I'm not going to spoil it, but the big concept of it is our hero, Tom Cruise, is on this battlefield and keeps reliving like the same day. So it's kind of groundhoggy in that sense. To me, man, this was scratching the death loop vibe so much. It really made me want to actually plug in a death loop. Just that idea of like like you're in a battle sequence and then like every time you relive like that day, like you're gonna know kind of how to tackle a little bit more efficiently, maybe better. And yeah, like I at first it was like, hey, this is gonna be that battleship level action movie that I'm really not interested in. I was like fading in and out, but then certain stuff happens. I think when he meets like Emily Blunt's character, and Emily Blunt's fantastic in this also, I was totally getting hooked. And although I did fall asleep, multiple times, I rewound and finished the movie and had a really good time with it. It's one that's been on the list for a really, really long time. Like I feel like Travis recommended this movie like early days of podcasts, and I just always put it off. And threw it on and had a really good time with it. I definitely recommend it to sci-fi fans. I mean, if you're just a fan of Tom Cruise and those action roles, I think you'll get something good out of it. And Bill Paxton is in this movie. He's just he got a funny accent in it, and he's only really in it that like at the beginning a lot, but he's great as always. And it's good. I recommend it.
Nice.
I liked it a lot.
I'll put it on my list.
There you go. That's all I have to say. So we are going to take, let's take our last ad break, and then we'll go into trailers here. We'll be right back. Here we are. We got a couple trailers to talk about. You got some fingers for a question, or are you just?
Oh, I'm just stretching.
Is this like a rock climber thing?
I'm always moving my hands. Yeah,
okay.
It's an issue.
It's an issue.
I need to calm down.
Let's unpack this. Let's unpack this later. Not on cast, but my goodness. Where do you want to start when it comes to these trailers? We already talked about a couple trailers today, but these are specifically movie trailers.
I know where to start. Kirkland, send help because I'm too freaking hyped at these trailers. Okay, This is a good batch. Here are at least a couple.
It's been a while, right, since we've had a good proper crop of trailers. Like I feel like normally it's like, minor spoilers. Maddie Sags gave us the classic Patreon question. We're gonna rank the movies in our order of hype. Trailers, that is, not the movies. And normally it's like, okay, there's like one that I liked, and then the rest it's like, how do I figure out the bottom, the bottom order of these? But man, like there's a good crop this week.
Yeah, no, consider me cropped officially. So let's start with Send Help, because this is a new Sam Raimi film. A concept here, if anyone hasn't seen the trailer yet, is there's this kind of a piece of shit boss played by Dylan O'Brien who is employing Rachel McAdams, who's kind of like a down on her luck type character. It sounds like she maybe is going to get fired. They go on this work trip. Plane fucking crashes on a desert island, and then just the two of them are the only survivors, it seems. Maybe there's some other ones in the water they find at some point, but I think it's just really the two of them, and they kind of have to just live with each other to survive. And she's doing all the work, and he's still being like, oh, I'm still your boss, and she's like, fuck that, we're in the middle of nowhere, and we're just out for survival at this point. But it's Sam Raimi, so it gets fucking weird. It's going to get brutal. There's blood a lot in this trailer, so there's going to be a lot of blood all over the place. Obviously, these characters probably losing their mind a little bit, probably trying to tear each other apart. But man, I am so hyped for this. I think this trailer is like extremely well edited. I mean, Rachel McAdams, I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen her just truly pop off. And I saw in the Discord today them talking about how Sam Raimi obviously worked with her Multiverse of Madness because she's in there as Christine. And he wanted to work with her again, which is funny because that's like such a minor role for her. But even then he was like, you know what? I like this girl. I want to get her in another movie. So he's like, let me just go ahead and put her in the starring role of my next thing. And then, like Dylan O'Brien's another guy that I haven't just seen since the Maze Runner days. I don't know what he's been doing. I know he got like injured at one point, and I think he was kind of out of the biz for a little bit. But to put him in like a big role like this, which is against type for the things I've seen him in, where he's usually like the goody two shoes, like golden boy type. Like I think this seems like a really fun dynamic. So I am very hyped for this. And like that one line that he says when they're in the airplane, he's like, fasten your seatbelts if you're a little bitch. and then the quick cut to like the side of the plane blowing off and everyone flying out, fucking dying laughing. So, it's a Sam Raimi. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you freaked out. It's going to, shock you. And I think this looks amazing. So I'm very hyped for this movie now.
Yeah. This was a big surprise for me. I feel like the pairing of Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien just totally surprised me. I don't think I'm like a big Dylan O'Brien fan or like hater or anything. He's just very neutral.
Yeah, he's that
I
kind
tried
of guy.
Yeah, I tried to get through like the Maze Runner series a long time ago. I think I like fell asleep with the second movie. Never went past
first one's
that.
Good time.
Yeah, it's okay.
But then when we get to the maze, who cares?
It's like fucking Hunger Games, man. Don't get me going on these fucking book movies.
Exactly.
But I mean, I love Rachel McAdams. I haven't like seen all of her films, but she's just so fantastic in what she's in, and most of those roles are rom-coms. So this is not a rom-com. So I'm kind of excited to see
Who
a
knows?
different.
Maybe they fall in love.
It gets.
I would be
a certain
shocked
type
if
of
that
love. Yeah. With how manic it seems certain characters get in this trailer, I doubt that highly, but it looks really, really fun. Two actors that I just didn't really I just didn't really put them two together, but I like, especially for this type of movie. It's funny too. I feel like for the longest time, Shay always loved Dylan O'Brien back in the day, and she said that I reminded her of Dylan O'Brien in the early stages. Handsome guy, so it makes sense. And then Rachel McAdams, she loves also, so it's kind of funny where this is the type of movie. It's a little fucked up, a little thrillery that not necessarily she would be interested in, but I'm curious if I'll be able to get her to the movies for this one because it's just the pairing. Like she just loves those two actors, and just very different roles that I've seen. Like Rachel McAdams also, when she's just going like full, almost like Willem Dafoe, like Lighthouse level of just psycho. Like when she's just yelling, when she does her hunt, she's like, "This is so fun." She's like yelling, like it's just. I'm excited to see that level that she gets at, and yeah, Dylan O'Brien playing this like asshole type character. It's just, I had the same reaction when he's on the plane. And he just laughs hysterically, and it's the quick cut to the guy being sucked out of the plane. I am looking forward to this one, and one I had not heard of before. I had not heard of 2 hours ago, and here we are. I'm really vibing with it. That's how quickly I can be sold on something.
Absolutely.
You chose the last one, so I'm going to choose the next one, just because that's fair.
That's
fair. Think. I'm going to talk about next the Predator Badlands trailer.
Okay.
I watched this trailer for the first time in theaters.
Tron
Ares.
Yeah.
Predator Badlands trailer. Oh, and you saw it in IMAX too. So you saw an even better trailer than I saw, right?
I mean, I saw the same trailer.
Okay.
It was just this, 20% bigger screen or something.
Maybe I'm temperature checking your thoughts on the trailer, but I fucking love this trailer so much. I think I was interested enough in just the concept, like Predator, last handful of films minus Prey, like hasn't been the top quality. I don't know if it's ever been like the top of quality, like even on those OG films. They're like fun to go back to and look at, but just like I mean, no, I shouldn't even say that. That first Predator movie is fantastic. There's some cheesy, corny stuff in there, but just the character of Predator is enough to get me interested in it. Especially that we've gone through like the retro on the podcast. So like I am invested in this series. I think anytime we get a Alien or Predator project, I will be watching it, even if it's Alien Earth, unfortunately. But man, Predator Badlands, this trailer fucking just had me juicing. I was so vibing with everything about this trailer. Having Elle Fanning like as this like synth that's just like basically the voice on like the Predator, like literally the voice on his shoulder, but just because the character, our protagonist, is a Yautja who doesn't speak English. Like, how do you do a whole movie with that? But then you have the great, just beautiful sounding, looking Elle Fanning, gonna be just taking us on this journey, and just man, like this seems like a video game, you know, where like you're playing as the Predator and you have her on your shoulder. So I love this trailer. I think it's gonna be such a fun time, and yeah, it's cool to be coming off of like Prey. That was just really awesome project, and then going to this, which it could be terrible, but for what was shown here, it looks really cool. I'm excited to see the different species and stuff that our Predator's taking on. So yeah, no, I was vibing with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even like not forgetting Killer of Killers as well. Like just like that trio of like this kind of new crop of stuff that we have going on here is a really interesting position for the franchise, and one that I've talked about. I haven't seen all of these movies, but I've just seen a handful of them. Obviously not like an all-time favorite for me, but yeah, I think this looks really fun. I like the concept here. I like that we're kind of flipping the concept on its head of like, rather than the Predator being the villain, the thing that our heroes are up against, like we're following his perspective. We're on this freaky planet. It's like there's like these plants that kind of explode when you get close to them, which that feels extremely video gamey to your point there. Fighting the big things. We get like a big mech fighting like a giant creature, like hell yeah. So it seems like, it's going to be a CGI fest, going to be an action fest, probably not a ton of in-depth story. But I don't know. Maybe they will bond a little bit. Like, obviously he's going to like speak back to her, I don't assume, but Elle Fanning kind of,
That'd be crazy.
doing some exposition, throwing some stuff over there. So yeah, I'm quite into this. I think visually it looks really great. And yeah, it seems like a kind of just a fun twist, a fun concept, just like a fun popcorn flick. And so I'm looking forward to seeing this one as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Let me take us over to Die My Love, another one that I hadn't heard of until 2 hours ago. So yeah, this is Robert Pattinson and J-Law. J-Law, much like Rachel McAdams, like feel like it's been a minute since I've seen her just like popping off with like some showing how great of an actor that she is, of course. And I mean, I just love Robert Pattinson right now. He's just, everything he's doing is like pure gold. Between like Mickey 17, Batman, all this, Lighthouse. I just love like the range of projects and roles he's doing here. But this seems really fun, like him kind of being seemingly like a shitty husband, and her being this like a stay-at-home mom who's not necessarily super happy with that life. She once was a writer but doesn't really have like the inspiration anymore. And that's where like there's a ton of shots in here that are of like more trippy, larger than life moments. And I feel like what's going on there is that it's like, even at one point in this trailer, she's talking about how like, I'm right now in my story, this wife is about to kill her stupid husband, or like whatever she says, something like that. And like some of these scenes seem like, okay, like are we seeing the fiction of her story? But like, how does that work? Like, is that just like a vision she's seen? Is it like a weird alternate dimension? Does it really just go that insane where she's walking through like a burnt forest? Like, I don't actually know what's going on in this, but I'm really excited to see like where that line is between the reality and the fiction of her story. Like, to me, that seems like a really fun dynamic, and put two like the best actors out there doing it, and like pairing I haven't seen before. I don't know if they've done a movie before, but I can't think of one. So I don't know. I think this seems like a really fun time. I didn't actually, let me look up who the director and writer is, because I didn't catch that when I was looking through this. But yeah, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, this is a big surprise for me. I mean, I feel like I had heard of a Robert Pattinson J-Law project, just because it's like two massive names, especially ones that we would have been paying attention to. But until I saw the name in the trailer, it's like, okay, no, I really didn't know too much about this project. But big surprise. It's funny, it actually reminded me of the lighthouse, in the sense of like you have two characters that they start off like comrades, and then it's just like a descent into madness. And it really seems like it is like mostly J-Law that is like the psycho, but I'm sure there's going to be some Robert Pattinson stuff that he's not a perfect character either, whether it's like substance abuse or something. Like I think there's just going to be some weight on the character. Do you find anything in your Googles?
Yeah, director's name is Lynn Ramsey. She's also the writer, but there's a couple other writers as well. So I've not heard of Lynn Ramsey, but I think to your point there, like obviously a woman director, and it seems like the movie is like from JL's perspective specifically. So maybe that's like, I don't know. I guess we're getting that like we're seeing the movie through her eyes. I guess that's more the focus of it. So which seems fitting for this director. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I was getting like lighthouse vibes and like a very twisted marriage story.
Okay.
Just a combination of stuff like that, and then you have two of arguably the best actors on the planet right now. Like I'm sure there's just juice at the yin yang. Not like the most one I want to go out of my way to just like see in theaters, which might be weird to say.
For sure,
like,
it's a home watch for me, no doubt.
Yeah, but like it's just like a heavy watch too. Like and like. There is already a list of movies like something like Weapons that like it's more intense. Like I kind of want to have those higher up on the priority list. Especially that like I don't think Shay wants to watch this with me, so I have to be like a little bit more selective when I'm watching just my solo flicks. And I don't know when I am gonna see this. It really depends on if any of the other lads see it, and if it's like a big Golden Geeks contender. I think that will up the ante on one, but definitely one I want to see eventually, just because the actors are so great. Really liked some of the imagery in there, like you already shouted out, like the forest that's burning, and just like a couple really cool shots of like whether it's just a zoom in on like J-Law's like wine glass as she's just like sipping it from like the glass perspective, and you just kind of see a little bit of like mascara that's like a little bit like just not looking all together. So I kind of imagine I can picture what's going to happen in the story, but just like the supernatural aspect to it, like I'm kind of intrigued on how much of an aspect that is. If it's just like a psychological thing, like that's what that's what they're seeing, or if like that's actually what is happening. Like you were, making the potential pitch of like this is a story that's kind of coming to life because she is a writer. There's something about just writers, right? Like I mean, we just went through The Shining. I was talking about Alan Wake on Side Quest, which I have downloaded, so it's ready to go. Nice. Just a tortured writer, like it's just that just ties so well into horror stories.
Definitely.
Anyways,
there's two more.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, I want to go. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go there. Might be revealing my cards here. This trailer fucking blew my mind. And it's not The Running Man. It is Psycho Killer.
Oh, okay.
Man, I was so fucking vibing with this trailer, and this movie looks so fucked up and dark at parts. I want to see this in theaters so bad. I didn't see Longlegs in theaters, which this reminded me of just certain shots, whether it's like outside, like those cops on the highway, like just like the palette again, where it's just like snow, like wintertime. And then of course like the satanic stuff that's in here. Man, I forget her name.
Georgina Campbell.
Georgina Campbell. Man, I loved her so much in Barbarian. I haven't seen her in too many things. I think I've seen her like one thing other than that, but I'm sure she's going to be fantastic in this because she was great in Barbarian, and I really don't have anything that's like a con on this trailer. Like I loved how dark and fucked up it got. I love the setup. I don't want to see anything else for this movie. I don't want to be told any more on the plot or anything like that. Like I'm sold. I think it just said 2026. I don't think if it has of an actual date. But man, like I'm ready for this, and I'm ready to be terrified. It just seems like my level of horror, where it is like a slow burn, psychological, twisty. So yeah, looks fucked up, and I'm fucking there. So here we go, Psycho Killer.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit lower than you. I thought it looked good, but I was a little more on the fence of like, okay, I think I need to see another trailer, or I need to wait and hear those impressions in the Discord, or now from you apparently, because you're going to be seeing this one, to confirm whether or not I'm gonna check it out myself, see if it holds up to the hype. But yeah, there's a lot of like really unsettling. Like even like the couple scenes we get with her talking to her therapist, but like the camera angle where you kind of just see like the back of the therapist and like his voice does not sound very comforting. It sounds like he's not making her feel better, and so like I wonder what's going on there. Like that seems like another like the psychological kind of horror part of it as well. So definitely a ton of question marks here, and I just need to maybe see a little bit more of them get answered. But I think you kind of nailed it there. Like there's just a lot of really great vibes here. I'm excited to see Georgina as well because same Barbarian vibes. She was great in there, but I want to see what else she's got, and it seems like she's carving out a nice little niche for herself here. But yeah, definitely the big long legs energy, especially with like being the cop and stuff. One thing I didn't get from this, so at one point talking about like the death of her husband, but then also like she sees her cop friend die. Like was her husband
I think that's
the cop?
her husband.
Okay, I couldn't tell if it was two separate instances. I'm like, man, that would fuck someone up. Your partner dies, like your romantic partner, your partner, at work. That would be pretty intense. So that makes sense, and that even makes it almost worse to some extent because I'm sure that was like her person in every sense of the word, right? That's her whole life. She at this person with work for however 8 to 10 hours a day, goes home, is with this person until they do it the next day. So, geez, I feel like that there's a lot of potential to play around with that idea. So hopefully, another one I'm going to look up the freaking director of this one again. Unless you caught who it was. It was like producer of, Substance. Producer.
I think Barbarian was in there. Weapons, like that team, which would make sense. Georgina Campbell, tied there. I was waiting for the long legs like tie because the vibe seems so long legsy, but alas, it didn't give us that.
Okay, director's movie debut. So he's directed He's directed roughly 12 episodes of television across 3 separate shows.
Very interesting.
So that's a thing. And then the writer, what do we got here? Love, Death, and Robots. He did an episode of that. The Wolfman. Oh, from 2010, not the new Wolfman. Sleepy Hollow?
Oh, man. Like Johnny Depp?
7?
Oh, I actually remember seeing that on there. Same thing with 8mm, I think is what it was called.
I don't recognize... Oh, he did he's screenplay of The Killer as well, the one with freaking Fassbender. Yeah, Fassy. Okay, so the writer's got some cred for sure. Director's a bit more of a unknown, but I mean, even just looking at the trailer and like the visuals of this, like the director's cooking with
the
fire.
next great.
Could be the next great. Yeah, Gavin. I was about to say provolone, but I think it's just Polone. Gavin Polone.
Remember the name. Remember the provolone. Bring the provolone cheese.
Oh God.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is like just from this trailer, I saw this being like a potential just Golden Geek riddled film.
Whoa,
with
they're on there already.
I mean, Georgina, she's got a track record of being fantastic, but like, man, like the one scene where she goes into that house and you just have like all of like the blood on the wall. Like it just seems like there's gonna be so many good like practical sets on this film, and they already show like multiple different locations and. Just looks like a really good looking film. Of course, judging it by the trailer, probably not the best, but I don't care. I'm doing it already. I'm so hyped for this film. I was getting chills talking about it. I was getting chills watching it. I was getting chills watching you Google about it.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Because I had Send Help and Die My Love, but you got like 3 like bangers over here that you're just.
I'm stealing them all,
and maybe more.
Yeah, maybe.
The last one is Running Man. A new Running Man trailer is the second trailer, or maybe third, but I've seen one other trailer for a grand total of 2. I guess, I don't want to tip my cards too much here, but in one timeline, we were recording the Running Man retrospective tonight in this moment. That's what we were going to do. And then we had to kick things back, and we ended up doing this Weekly Geek instead. So I did watch the original Running Man, and I don't really want to talk about that yet. I want to save that for the retro. But I have seen that original now. I don't know. The first trailer didn't really do much for me, and this one is. I don't even like. This could have been the same trailer in terms of like. I feel like it didn't change my perspective at all. It didn't really show me anything new. I think this is a little disappointing for me because like Edgar Wright's very stylish, and this just doesn't feel very stylish to me. It feels quite generic. And I don't know. Glenn Powell's cool and all, but like. I'm just not very interested in this one. And it's funny. I was laughing at one point in the trailer. There's a throwaway line where he's like, I'm trying to come back. I'm doing this so that I can come back to my family. But it was like 1.5 seconds worth of dialogue. And I feel like it was the movie trying to be like, oh, yeah, there's going to be some emotion in here. Don't worry. We're going to hit you with the feels, too. But it's like, no, this seems like it's just going to be 99% action, but then of course you're going to have some boring storyline where he's got to get back to his family. So the only thing that, Michael Cera's in here, weird addition to an action movie like this. And then also this guy named Martin, I don't know his last name, Martin from Please Don't Destroy. He's like an SNL writer, and he does some like skits with Please Don't Destroy. I don't know if you've seen any of their YouTube things. You should search Please Don't Destroy if you want some good 2 or 3 minute long funny skits. They do some weird stuff. So to see him in here too was like a very strange casting that I'm kind of into. So get some like weird, awkward comedy actors in the mix. It seems like an odd pairing with Running Man, in my opinion, but it got me more interested than like anything else in here. So I don't know. Am I alone on this island, or are you more interested in Running Man?
I am more interested in Running Man, but this trailer really didn't do much for me. It didn't detract me. Like, I still do want to see this film. I was just sold after that first trailer. It's like, okay, I'm okay with it being a 90% action thrill ride with like zero plot substance at all. Like, I just really liked the action that was shown in that first trailer. I didn't really need any more than that. This trailer felt like a more story trailer. Like, if you could make that like, I think I'd make the argument just because they're like actually talking more about what the contest is. And I think for that reason, like, I just didn't really care for this trailer as much. They replayed some of like the action scenes that I'd already seen. When the guy kicks the grenade into the elevator, when he's like, throw it back, and then he kicks whatever, like, I'm sure I'm just going to be having no reaction to that in the theaters. Credit to them if they can actually win me over with that. But it's one of those scenes where I've just seen so many times now. I've seen that trailer many times now.
Sure, yeah.
It's just overdone. But I haven't seen The Running Man yet.
Okay.
So I am excited to see that original and talk about it with you guys on that retro. But I was already sold from that first trailer, and the second one really didn't do much for me at all. I am excited for the cast. Like, you got Brolin in here with these just big fake veneer looking teeth, as if he's like a Hunger Games host.
Got the chompers out.
The great and powerful Coleman Domingo just chewing it up. So like, I am excited for the performances of that, and I think Glenn Powell will be a good just like guy, and I say guy with like parentheses of just like, that's your male white video game character in this action video game. Like, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And I think he's going to play the role fantastic. And I don't want to downplay him as an actor, but I just think that type of performance is what you want in this type of movie, or at least that's what I want. Like how Keanu is just a badass, but he's silent. I don't think Glenn Powell's ever going to reach that level, but that's just the type of archetype of performance I want for this role.
Snarky action hero. Yeah. He's got that in spades. Yeah.
So, like, in this trailer, when he's talking about his family and, like, I have to do this for... And I'm just like, I don't fucking care, Just he's the Running Man. That's all I need. And let's just go with it. So, that's what I'm looking forward to. Trailer, lesser.
Trailer, lesser, yeah.
So, if that's all of them... Time to rank. Mm-hmm. I will start the bidding.
Okay.
At the very bottom. The Running Man, just because, judging for the trailers, not necessarily my passion for the project, but that's where it lies. Second, I just hyper scrolled all the way down, lost my list there. I think I'm going to go Die My Love here. This is a powerful week of trailers.
You dirty dog.
So second last, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I don't know. It just reminded me of, I don't even want to explain myself. It's there because that's what it is. And then above that, I'm gonna put Badlands here only because I watched that trailer in theaters, and then I started watching it again, like the same trailer at home, and I'm like, this hits nowhere near the level that it did in the theaters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Of just the big effects. So that's why it lies there. I am excited for the film. Again, powerful week of trailers. Where am I at? So Predator Badlands above Running Man, Predator Badlands above Die My Love, and then I'm gonna put Send Help followed by Psycho Killer. Psycho Killer will be my number one.
Psycho Killer taking that cake.
Yeah.
Man. What about what the heck's it called? Wonder Man, because that's a trailer too. Where would you stick that?
That's a TV show trailer. Maddie didn't ask specifically for TV shows. But if you were to ask me, I think that would be. It could be like tied for second, but I know we don't do ties, so I'll just slate it in the number 3 spot. just because I think Send Love was. Actually, no. I'm going to put number 2. I'm going to put it above Send Love. Because I was going to say Send Love was like a big surprise, but the whole trailer for Wonder Man was a surprise, and it was a nice breath of fresh air.
High.
So,
okay.
Yeah, no, great week of trailers. Psycho Killer, god damn, I'm excited for that. So that's a gold star number 1. But what about you?
Nice. Well, first of all, shout out to Carl Ritchie in the chat. A rare chat appearance for Carl. He's listening to. I'm gonna be listening as I fly to Spain, boys. Hope yous are good. What's up, Carl? Good to see you. Thank you for listening. Have fun in Spain. Hopefully, you can join us on After 9.
Absolutely, miss
soon.
You, Carl.
You can tell us about your journey. That sounds good. Okay, my list. Running Man, it's bottom of the list. No shocker. Kirkland, cover your ears. Psycho Killer is second to bottom for me. It's good, but that's just how great of the. This is quite
the unknown director, isn't it?
The crop we have is so abundant that something's got to be at the bottom there. He'll be at the next one. Yay! See you then, Carl. Have fun in Spain, my friend.
Hold you to
Wonder
it.
Man. Wonder Man is Wonder Man is next up. That's number 4 on my list.
Okay.
Then we go up to Predator Badlands at number 3. Top 3 for Predator. And then Die My Love at number 2. I'm really hyped on that trailer. And then Send Help for me, as it was probably not too surprising, but that's definitely my number 1. That movie looks fucking amazing. So, but yeah, man, we got lucky here. We got a good crop of trailers. So I'm pretty thrilled with this overall.
Yeah, no, me too. Let's keep it coming. Let's just have fleshy.
No
weeks
more bad trailers,
of
only good trailers. Okay, Hollywood, you hear me?
Is it too much to ask? You know, it's like a good movie poster. It shouldn't be hard. Like, we've had millions of movies at this point. Let's just perfect the formula.
Yeah, just copy everyone else. You know?
Yeah. Or just be original, you know? Just come up with original, awesome ideas every time. Just like movies and TV shows.
It's easy.
Pay everyone right what they deserve, you know?
Yep, don't use AI.
Have no disputes.
Yeah, don't fire people.
Yeah.
Be
Have
good.
a healthy working environment with reasonable working hours. 3-day weekends.
Pay for health insurance. All these, do these things, Hollywood. It's easy.
Yeah, it is easy. There's enough money to go around. We are at the end of my teleprompter. That is all, folks. Any final words, Dylan, before we close out this week?
Kirkland, between this and Sidequay yesterday, nice duology of episodes. A nice way to start the week, hey?
Absolutely. And we're halfway through the week. Tomorrow's Wednesday already. Gotta love good old Canadian Thanksgiving. How are you feeling post-turkey? Did you have a big turkey? Or did you have a turducken?
I had a small amount of turkey on Friday night, so the tryptophan has left the body a couple days ago, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I think it was lingering this morning. I felt heavy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like not. And man, it was, I don't know how it is in Vancouver. It was -4 this morning. -4 degrees
I had
Celsius.
to scrape the window the first time, so it got colder.
I slept with the window open too, so when I woke up, it was like, I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger's freaking Mr. Freeze was going to be sitting right next to me. It was that level. It was that level of coldness. Just Marco and I were cuddled up on the bed. Shay worked last night, so it was just the boys. And it was freezing. So I don't even know why I started telling him that. That's what happens. When we come to the end. This is what happens when I have no teleprompter. I just go off script. And
Kirkland, you have to end the podcast.
Okay,
just
right.
Say bye.
Hit the button. Bye-bye. Have a good one. See you next time.